Are you a deviant? You know, like those of us who binge watch serial killer programs, laugh at the stupid shit people do, and revel in anything adult? Well, you found your people. Join us as we crack open the door to the padded cell and release the insanely stupid, the weirdly wonderful, and those who choose to live outside societal norms. We'll delve into the strange, the macabre, the sexy, and the outrageous. So, if you're a deviant, then you have your place with us in the padded cell. You're just going to stay on your phone while I say hello to everybody?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Ryan's just on his phone. Just give me a minute.
Just get the picture.
So I'll say hello and welcome to episode 93. Ryan's just going to finish off his WhatsApp.
Yes, give me... No, it's not a WhatsApp. It's for this.
For what?
For me fucking thing in a minute.
Oh, your segment?
Yes.
Your segment that was ready last time.
It's been ready
really
for 2
ready
weeks.
time.
Yeah, but I like sending
So,
you pictures
hello
on the
and
day.
welcome to episode 93, everybody. I'm
Hi.
50 now.
That's crazy, isn't it? Happy birthday.
Ah, thank you.
It's the second time I've wished you happy birthday. It's not been your birthday.
I know. Well, lots of people have been doing it, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
It's because I've got different date of births everywhere for different types of accounts.
Ah,
So Townhouse is the 1st of June.
cool. Yeah.
The Padded Cell's got a completely different one. I think it's like 12th of September or something like that. Anyway, right, so 26th of June. And
Let's go.
on this day in 2011, the most expensive pearl ever sold went through auction for a record-breaking $11.8 million. Now, I'm mentioning this because pearl is June's birthstone. But also, 11.8 million on this. It's like a pear-shaped pearl. And it's got like a crown on it. It was actually owned by somebody royal. I don't know if I've actually put it down here. Oh, yeah. It once belonged to Henry Philippe Hope, a well-known gem collector in the 19th century. You should see it. It's massive. It's 2 inches in length, which pearls are normally little tiny things, aren't they?
Yeah.
2 inches. It was like this crown thing they've set it in. It's absolutely lovely. But $11.8 million.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And even though pearl is my birthstone, I really don't like it. It's a bit old lady for me.
Yeah.
But this particular one is stunning because it's just so different.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't wear pearls, I don't think. I'm not quite old enough for pearls.
Do you think you will when you're older?
They're probably big, chunky, fake pearls.
Yeah.
And, big mad glasses and all that.
I can see you going down that route.
Yeah. So it'd probably just be outrageousness rather than classy pearls.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend my money on other things than pearls. And I know that Jim would as well.
Yeah.
So don't ever get me pearls, love. It's like me buying you a dressing gown, slippers. And you'd said, if I ever do that, you'd divorce me. Well, same with pearls. Yes? He said, don't ever get me a dressing gown.
Stand against
slippers.
it,
Yeah. He just doesn't like them. He said, it's like something you're doing in an old people's home. No, it's not. People do it all the time, love, but it's his thing.
Yeah.
So, the reason why I am bringing up this pearl, it just inspired me to talk about a programme that I've been watching, and I don't know if you've ever heard of it. If you haven't, it's something that you're like, I don't even know I'm going to get into this. It draws you in.
Suction in.
Jim and I have just finished season 12, having binge watched all 12 seasons in about 3 months.
Okay.
And there's about 12 or 13 episodes in each, if not more.
Jeez, it's a big one.
And this is called Outback Opal Hunters.
Oh.
Have you heard of this?
No.
Have you heard of this, Dylan?
No,
Okay.
never.
There's a bit like the Gold Rush.
Yeah.
Like those sorts
But
of
I
programs.
didn't know much about Opal. For me, when I was a kid, Opal was almost like a cheap stone.
Yeah.
It looks pretty-ish, but I was a bit like, Opal, it's not really that precious. Now, Opal is becoming one of the most precious stones in the world because it's running out.
Right.
But also, the ability to mine opal is becoming near impossible because of the price of the fuel and everything. The amount of money that goes into mining opal, mate, you've got no idea. And also, there's some land that has been getting mined for decades, and the government have reclaimed it and given it back to Aboriginals.
Oh, okay.
And so a lot of mines have closed. And they just can't mine these areas that are rich in opal. And so it's sending the opal prices up. And obviously everything's going up in price here. Our fuel is going up.
Yeah.
On one of these episodes, there's this big drill machine. and they put $500 worth of diesel in, and that was for a day.
Fucking hell.
And every episode, it's just like, oh, everything's going up in price. The weather over there, the monsoons, the fires, it's just disrupting everything. And so now Jim and I have like been looking at Opal, and you're like, you're going to invest in something, maybe invest in Opal rather than gold, because it's going up in price. And it's actually really quite beautiful. I just thought it was like white with little colour flecks in it.
Yeah.
But there's actually black opal with red, like fire red in it, and it's worth a lot of money. There's probably Australians watching this now going, oh my God, she knows something about opal in Australia. There's different types of opal depending on where you are in the country. It all produces different types of opal. There's some very rare opal that's only in one part of Australia. And you get to know all the teams, all of the miners, and some of them are 3, 4, 5th generation miners. There's a girl called Sam, 3rd generation miner. She's young, getting right stuck in. And you get to know them as people and how fucking hard they work, how hard it is to mine, how dangerous it is, the amount of money that goes into it for tiny little bits. And some of the opal's big. It's like the custard cream. Some of them are like me fingernail, and it can be worth $5,000. And they're going through tons and tons and tons of dirt and brick and stones to find these little things. And it's just I don't know, it's hard, but also it's just soul destroying because the amount of money they put in for the return. And then there's people that are buying opal knowing that they're getting quite desperate. And so when they're haggling, they're not getting quite so much sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you want something that's dead easy to watch, like just stick on while you're doing stuff. It's brilliant because the people make it. One guy called Rod, been in every single episode. He's about 68 now. Red hair, big Viking beard.
Yeah.
Works really hard, big, massive working hands. Nothing he doesn't know about mining. And he's got a little sidekick who's 75 now called Les. Been trying to retire for years. Les has had every injury, every illness under the sun, and he still goes underground. But he's got a nose for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's really good. So if you like that sort of thing, watch Outback Opal Hunters.
Yeah.
It's on Discovery Plus if you're in the UK, Quest elsewhere. It's just smashing, and the people, you just can't help but like them, and you can't help but admire how hard they work. The other thing, when we were on the cruise, we spoke to loads of Australians. There's one particular couple who was sitting next to them at dinner, and they were talking about different parts of Australia. And I went, oh yeah, that's by Adelaide. I said, oh, you know. I went, well, my geography's all right. I went, but we watch Outback Opal Hunters, so we know all around Australia. I said, we're not all like that, you know. And I went, I didn't think you were.
Yeah.
Because they're just, the living is just so rough.
Yeah.
They literally just, they work, have a few beers, something to eat, go to bed, get up, get out again. Maybe have a swill of the pits in the face. I don't know. Yeah. But they're hard. You can see their hands are rough and hard work, and might throw a comb through the hair. It's not because they're dirty people or nothing like that. It's just their way of life. Some of these places in the Outback haven't even got electricity and running water.
No way.
They're relying on tanks of water.
Yeah.
So, you know, their life is mining, not necessarily personal care. But then when they go and do their little deals, some of them have got special outfits on. Rod has got a bowler hat that he always puts on. Yeah. You know he's doing a deal. He puts his bowler hat on. Yeah. It's great. And the people are just great. Anyway, so moving on. Also, on this day, this happens all the time. I was going to do something in the previous episode. I went, not really interested enough. Something came up for this episode, links in. And it happens all the time. When I'm not looking for it, I find links everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. So, in 1973, did you know that Grease, the film, was actually a stage show originally?
No.
Most people think that it was a film first and then became a stage show.
Yeah.
No, it was a stage show first. And the person who played Danny Zuko was not John Travolta. It was Richard Gere.
No way.
And we've got a picture.
Oh, wow.
Richard Gere. I don't know who the female is in it. But yeah, he played Danny Zuko in London stage performance of Grease, and I've seen it. There he is.
No way.
Right, I've actually seen a video recording of him doing Summer Lovin', And I've got to say, it's probably the worst rendition I've actually heard of Summer Lovin'. And I've been to some schools that have done Grease and they were better. So Richard Gere improved with age. And I don't think I've seen him singing since, thank God. But it was 1973 when there isn't all the fucking effects and smoke and lights and all the rest of it. It's just people on stage doing a show. It was very, 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 very basic. But yeah, he was the original Danny Zuko. I didn't know that.
No.
But in the last episode, what I was going to say was it was 1976, 16th of June, last time, when Grease the movie was released.
Oh, no way.
1978. Anyway, so yeah, Richard Gere was the original Danny Zuko. I thought it was brilliant. Yeah. Right. Before I carry on, new Patreons. Hello, Melissa, Jodie and Kane. Welcome. Cheeky tongue pull as well to our OGs and our established Patreons. Do you want to go first?
Go on.
What have you got for us, kid?
I seen this, well, it's fucking doom scrolling the other night. I am going to take us back to 1987.
You weren't born.
I know.
You're doing something about a time when you weren't around.
I know.
Well
I discovered something. So let me take you a little bit further back, because 1987 was the 50th anniversary of this thing. That's the Golden Gate Bridge.
Okay.
So May 27th, 1937. That's when the bridge was opened. 1.7 miles long. You've seen it. Big, red, fucking massive suspension bridge.
Can't miss it, but boats have crashed into it.
Yeah. Have you, just a little segue, have you seen all the fucking AI videos people are making of boats crashing into?
No.
What? Fucking
AIs, you know, at the moment, I don't know what's real and what's not.
Some of them are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I know the ridiculous ones I'm like, that's AI.
Yeah. But yeah, boats have crashed into it despite it being the only thing you can see between the two pieces of land. So yeah, 1937 it was opened, and then for its 50 years, they decided to do the Bridge Walk 87.
Bridge Walk.
And they were going to do, like, you know, get loads of people there, all walk over the bridge and stuff like that. Now, when the officials were going around and planning and all that, they reckon about 50,000 will turn up for this. You know, we'll put it out there. Estimates of the people that actually turned up on the day was between 300 and 800,000.
It's like Woodstock all over again. Expecting, 20,000 people and 500,000 turned up or something.
Yeah. Streets closed. People came from all over the world. The bridge was closed for traffic for the first time in decades. Wow. And by 6 a.m, people were pouring in, whole families, tourists, musicians, even roller skaters.
No way.
It was just a sea of people.
That'd be good to see, actually.
I know. Well, Dil, you've got a picture there.
How wide is the bridge? How many lanes has it got for traffic?
I think it's 6, is it? Or 8?
God, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. That's the whole fucking bridge. Now, you can't really see it on this photo, but obviously because it's a suspension bridge, it arcs sort of that way. It flattened.
With all the people?
It was flat.
So all them people were heavier than the traffic that it normally gets.
Yep.
I suppose the traffic is moving.
Yeah.
So that, what's the word I'm looking for? That point of give, if you like, it's never going to have the weight continuously on it because there's always
I guess
traffic.
So.
That it's called something, isn't it? That point.
Yeah, but
there's people just standing on it.
Yeah, it flattened. I know. Obviously, it had never been tested to that point before, I don't think. So the officials were like,
yeah, everybody off.
Yeah, please.
Imagine it collapsing though.
Imagine that from the weight of the people.
There was a movie years ago, disaster movie, there was an earthquake and the Golden Gate Bridge was swaying and cars fell off it.
Was that 2010?
No idea. Don't know.
I love disaster movies. Yeah. So many people got on it that it flattened. The natural arc disappeared and it deflected down about 7 feet in the centre.
That's a lot.
So it was dipping.
I bet people didn't know about it when they were standing on there.
You probably wouldn't. But surely it'd be making some fucking straining noises and stuff, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But then all them people making a lot of noise.
Maybe. Yeah. Quotes from the day. It was like being in a human river. Someone said, and the other one said the bridge was swaying. Oh, I'd be fucking sick. Because how the fuck would you get out of that if you're in the middle and you think, I'm done, I want to get out of this? Where are you going?
Well, you can't just jump off. People have died doing that. It's like hitting concrete.
I know.
It's that high.
I know.
That's scary, that. Swaying?
Swaying, no.
I'll be screaming. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be on the bridge anyway, you know me. I'd jump. I'd have to jump off. Remember, well, were you there for that episode? Call of the Void. I don't know if you heard that episode.
Yes.
And I've got that thing where if I'm on the edge, I've got to jump.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be like that. I'd be like, no problem at all. Just
What
jump.
if it was collapsing?
Yeah, I'd just jump.
If it was collapsing, I'd be off, yeah.
No, but I wouldn't actually get on the bridge in the first place because I've got to jump, haven't I?
Yeah, I'd go and
That's
watch.
why I avoid bridges, because I've got to jump. I know it sounds mad. There's one time it was so overwhelming, I had to sit down to stop myself jumping off the bridge.
And you want to go on the ferry?
The ferry's not so high. The higher
the
height above water, the more I've got to do it. So a lowish bridge, I still get a bit of a, but the risk factor isn't quite there.
Did you not get it on your balcony when you were on the cruise?
I did, yeah. I had to stand away from the balcony a little bit, yeah. It seems to be less when I'm moving. So when the ship was still and I was looking over the side, I'd back away from the side. And thankfully, they're quite high, the sides. But when the ship's moving, not so much.
Okay.
It's weird. Yeah.
I always get when we get the ferry over to my dad's, I always get the thought of, what would happen if you fell in? And like,
You just swim in the river.
I imagine it a lot. Like, do you know what I mean? What happened if you fell in, or kids fell in, or whatever like that?
Your kids though?
Yeah. But I take them up, me. They want to see it. And it's just the way my brain works. It's
I'm
like,
thinking about
what the fuck would
organising
they
one
do?
of them nighttime ferry parties. Have you heard about them?
No.
Right, okay. So if you ever come to Liverpool, great tourist attraction for you. The Mersey ferry. Please tell me you know what the ferry across the Mersey is. The Mersey is a river going to Liverpool. And there's a very famous ferry of 3 that go across, taking people either side from Liverpool to the Wirral. And they do like little tours, leisure cruises.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
You must have heard Jerry and the Pacemakers. Ferry, cross the Mersey. Yeah, and when you're on there, they play the tune. They're good. Anyway, in the nighttime, they do party cruises.
No way.
90s, Motown, 80s, ABBA, all that. Dead cheesy.
Erasure.
No, but they might play Erasure in the 80s one. Other night, we live on the river. It just dead loud music.
No.
Like that going, where's that music coming from? And Jim went, I think it's from that ferry there. And the ferries don't normally come down as far as ours because it was a party cruise. It came all the way down to New Brighton.
Boss.
I was like, fucking hell, it was bouncing, mate.
Yeah.
I opened the window. The window was closed. I opened the window. I was going boom, boom, boom. Like it was on my front garden. And you could see people like that, having the time of their life on this thing.
Oh, get us on
So
that.
for a staff gathering,
Yeah, let's do
we
it.
could go on there. It's not expensive. I've looked into it. And
That'd
they've
be
got them
class.
right through summer.
Do it. Yeah.
So we've properly gone off on one Golden Gate Bridge. I'm so sorry, mate.
I'm sorry. I only put a few bullet points anyway, to be fair.
Okay, it's a good job I was filling in the gaps.
It was, yeah. Well, you normally
Pass
do.
it out, Vic. Pass it out.
You normally do. I always
can't
leave
help
a bit of Vicky room. So yeah, obviously that happens. Do you reckon something like that would happen today? That many people, or do you reckon that because it's like the tomato festival we spoke about? They've limited it, haven't they?
I'd like to think that the authorities have realised the error of their ways and to not allow that many people on the bridge ever again. So I'd like to think in future they would monitor the numbers and maybe have a little bit of forward thinking and forward planning.
Oh yes.
On the what ifs. You know, too many people come along.
See these at the bottom here by the lamppost,
Yes.
the ones who are on the outside. They've got the best spot there.
I think they might be staff who said, yeah, like to the
Let's
brother.
wangle it. Yeah.
You come in here because it's going to be chocolate out there.
Yeah.
I've got the special key to the special balcony bit because I'm like, you know, the number one
up there.
maintenance
Yeah,
guy.
Yeah.
So you come with me and we can have the special view.
Well, wouldn't you go up? I'd be sat on the top of it, me.
Are you allowed?
Well, surely you can get up there for maintenance, can't you?
Yeah.
I'd
I
be up
don't
there,
know.
me.
Well, like I say, I probably wouldn't go on the bridge in the first place, would I?
True, yeah. What an amazing thing, though.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? Bridges in general, when you think of how far they stretch, the engineering, right, okay, is it China or Japan? The longest bridge in the world?
Yeah.
It's China, I think.
Yeah.
Dylan, could you have a very quick look up for us? Longest bridge?
I fell onto bridge TikTok somehow, and all I was seeing for weeks were these Chinese bridges and motorways that they're building. Oh, fucking hell, the engineering.
There's
coming out of
one,
that
and
country.
it goes on and on. It's like 26 miles or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the longest bridge in the world.
And it was like, there's the only point in my life where I've been like,
yeah.
Am I-
Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge.
Am I autistic and is this my
Fuck
special
off.
interest? Yeah, 102 miles.
Well, that's a long way.
It's
That's
just
like
a
here
bit.
to Birmingham.
Yeah, but it connects. Like fucking. Yeah.
Bet it's more efficient than the M6 going down to Birmingham now.
I bet it's better than the M6 toll.
Well, it's China, isn't it? Yeah. Everything's better in China.
You can see the top 6 are all Chinese as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I love that. Bridges just fascinate me. Do you know when I went to Budapest, they had loads and loads of bridges down the river there, or Budapest, as they say there.
Yeah.
One of the bridges had acrobats. You know the things that go up, the wires, suspension wires that suspend the bridge. On that, they had sculpted metal acrobats.
No.
Some of them were doing trapeze.
Oh, amazing.
Some of them were doing like thingy walking.
Tightrope.
Tightrope walking. Some were doing juggling. Some were in pairs. I was like, what an amazing way to decorate a bridge.
Yeah.
You just walk across every day. It made me stop and take photos. It was really, really good. Yeah, bridges, fascinating.
But yeah, the last thing, despite the stress, no one was hurt, no damage was done, just an unforgettable memory of hundreds of thousands.
I bet you there was a load of vertigo if the bridge was moving.
Yeah, because they are built to sway, aren't they?
Yeah. Have you been up the tower? The Radio City Tower, which isn't the Radio City Tower anymore.
Never.
Haven't you?
And it's getting knocked down, isn't it?
I don't know it's getting knocked down, but I'd very much doubt it because that's a landmark. But Radio City have now moved out of it.
Yeah.
So, do you know what? Why not? Let's take a little moment. Radio City has been the radio station in Liverpool for as long as I can remember.
God, yeah. Yeah.
And loads of DJs have cut the teeth on Radio City and gone to do other things. Some of them have stayed there for years because it became, a really great station in its own right.
Yeah.
And then it was taken over by some other more national stations.
Yeah.
And now it's got to the point in the UK where there's no local radio stations. They've all gone national.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that Scousers love is Scousers on the radio.
Yeah.
We speak our own language. We've got our own type of humour. We can relate to each other. And Leanne Campbell Power was the morning presenter on Radio City for 22 years. And people grew up with her. Yeah. And she's just a nice girl. And she's being made redundant now. They've got rid of her because Radio City, like everybody else, has been absorbed and is going national. And so now the presenters on our local radio are not going to be from Liverpool. They're going to be from anywhere in the country. And when you flick through your thing on the car now, the radio stations, they're all going to sound the same.
Yeah.
All those local radio stations are all going to be playing the same thing.
I remember that when radio was the only thing you could listen to. Like a certain time of night, like Juice FM would be the same as... And it'd be like, hang on.
But I can understand, like, dead late at night, you may as well share the airwaves with another radio station.
Yeah.
But when it's breakfast or drive time, the end of the day, that should be local.
Yeah.
And, I've spoken to Leanne, and she's put it out, quite publicly, what's been going on. But I've got to say, she's very upset about it, but she's handling it with such grace.
Yeah, she's a lovely woman.
Yeah. Humility and grace, and I'm sure she's quite, upset and angry on the inside. I think it's going to open up loads of other opportunities, actually. But what I do know is that so many people from Liverpool have switched off.
Yeah.
All Hits Radio it is now, and they posted something, and I can't tell you how many thousand Scousers all went, we've lost my business, I'm switching over.
Shite, yeah.
And they're all switching over to the independent station that Lee Butler's on. What's it called? Dylan?
I'll have a quick Google.
Yeah.
I'm really
Lovely
that's the other one.
Butler.
Want to give them a little plug. It's a DAB one only, online.
In demand.
In demand. Thank you very much. So if you are from Liverpool or local area and you want to hear Scousers on the radio, because Radio City is no more, in-demand radio, mainly local DJs. If they're not local, they've been on local radio for years. One is Scott Hughes, was on Radio City for years. He's not local, but he's been a Liverpool DJ for years. Brilliant. So go over there instead. Don't be supporting these fucking national companies that are eating up all the little underdogs. Support your local radio with your local people, wherever you are in the world, because they need you rather than fucking bigger corporations taking over. Hate that,
Fuckers. Yeah.
I mean, I suppose in a way, if you're trying to sell off your business, you're going to make money from it and all the rest of it. But it feels to me like they just bullied the way onto the scene.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
And just ate up everybody who gets in the way. That's how it feels to me. Don't like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Golden Gate Bridge, thank you very much for that. Very, very good. I don't think they are knocking the Radio City Tower down. I think they're just going to... I think somebody else is going to take it over.
I think it was just rumour that I heard.
Yeah. I'd love Indoman to go up there, the new radio station. I don't think they can afford it. They'd be expensive.
Yeah, well,
because everything's in there already, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the radio stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So, I'm going to do a very quick dangly bit, and then I'm going to do my segment. My dangly bit's just a story, and it's a very, very quick one. Something that happened recently. Jim's going to kill me. So Jim was driving up to the shops recently, and he saw this thing in the road, and he's like, "Oh, dead squirrel."
Yeah.
Anyway, as he got closer, it wasn't dead, and these fucking big wagons were going over it, but just missing it. So he's like, "Oh," and Jim's a bit of a sensitive little soul with things like that.
Yeah.
And if he sees anything like, dead or dying, he's got to move it. So anyway, he went over, and it was alive. The little head went like that, and looked up, and fucking hell. So he's got this squirrel, phoned me. He's not even a quarter of a mile up the road. Right, Vic, I'm coming home with a squirrel. I went, what? Excuse me? He went, I explained briefly. He went, I might have to take it to the vet or something. I went, the vet's not going to see a squirrel.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he brought it home, and he's got hold of it, and he's all like, concerned. And there's something quite sexy about a man who's like concerned over animals and all that. Yeah, he got ragged everywhere that night. Anyway, so we had the squirrel.
With the squirrel?
And he went, I don't think it... No, not with the squirrel. Eek.
Squirrel on the end of the bed?
No, just looking.
Any nuts?
Playing its nuts. Anyway, he held the squirrel. I went, I don't think it's very well. I just went like that with its foot and its foot like that. I went, I think it's broken its back, Jim, to be honest.
Yeah.
So he said, I'll put it in a box for now and put it in the garden. It's all right, yeah. So he put it in the garden. So there's this squirrel in a box in the garden. And he left it for about 45 minutes. And he went back and he went, oh, the squirrel's dead. I said, never mind. But he was really upset. Yeah. I think because he's like seen it in its little final moments. It's big eyes looking up like that.
Yeah.
I know it's probably making you worse, Jim. I'm really sorry reliving the whole thing. But he was genuinely upset. Anyway, I'd forgotten about the squirrel for a minute. Was it coming here? I was going somewhere, and there's a window cleaner outside. The one of the big window cleaner things. So, hey, mate, I paid him. And he's like that. All he was missing was a cigarette like that.
Yeah.
Right. And he was going, hey, love, you're all right? Jim, you got a dead squirrel in a box here. Like that, all normal. I went, oh, God, yeah. And he went, do you want me to move it? No, I think Jim's going to move it later. Needs burying that. Fox is going to get that, love. Don't see dead squirrels in a box very often, no, love.
Just having the time of his life. Yeah.
So anyway, the squirrel is now buried in our back garden.
Nice.
And it's got a name.
Oh.
But I can't tell you the name.
Why? Sensitive information, GDPR.
I'll tell you after the recording.
Yeah. Is the squirrel not consented to pass on its details?
Yeah. All about that, yeah. Jim's going to put a little cross in the ground, his little name on it and everything. But he was really upset over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just the way the window clears, like, you got a dead squirrel in a box here, love. Like, it's just so normal. It's just like that. Carrying on. Dead.
Jim rang me the other day, and he just segued out the conversation. Was like,
does that all the time.
Yeah, wait till you see this. There's a snail climbing up the window here.
Yeah.
And he went, hang on. And I could hear him trying to open his camera on the phone. He sent me a picture on the call. Have a look at that, right?
What was different about a snail?
It was just a snail, climbing up the window. I went, oh, yeah, it is a snail.
So
he's like, can you see him?
We're a little bit obsessed with snails at the moment.
Okay.
If you hadn't guessed.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a big garden with fruit trees, and we need to lime wash the trunks because that stops snails and slugs going up your tree. We haven't done it yet. All right, so we're in the back garden the other day, we're very back, having a little beer in the sunshine, and Jim went, a couple of snails on the fig tree there. Right, this fig tree has got about 5 million figs on it. If a snail goes anywhere near one of them figs, I was going murder. Because I'm quite proud of this tree, even though I've only been there 6 months and I haven't grown it. I still like it.
You've inherited it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few snails. I went, fucking isn't. So I got up like that, right over. Anyway, about half an hour later, I'm still picking snails off the tree like that. So I had handfuls, and I was putting them in a pile of, I don't know, about 7-8 foot away, like that. Putting them out, spreading them out. And then there's all like little baby ones. I was like, oh God, Jim, there's families of snails. What am I going to do? I'm going to split them up.
Separating families.
So what I did, those 2 big ones, fucking massive. If you're into escargot, these would have been like a proper starter. Yeah. Big, massive mummy and daddy. Or maybe a mummy and mummy or a daddy and daddy. You know,
it's 2025.
It's 21st century. You never know. Snails might be into that as well. So 2 big ones, then like 3 medium-y ones.
Yeah, adolescents.
2 tiny, teeny, weeny little ones on the trunk of this thing. And I was like, those little ones are going to be big ones one day.
Yeah.
Gotta go. But I took them off as a family. So mummy snail.
Yeah.
Mummy or daddy snail, you know, whatever gender. Then like sisters and brothers. And then the new babies, I put them on mum's shell. Well, what I thought was mum, it could have been dad.
It could be nan or granddad.
It could be anybody, yeah. So I put the little babies on their shell. So they like, you know, they all stay together. And I put them on the floor all gentle, right? So I got, Jim reckons about 100 snails I got off this tree. And they're all on the floor. Carried off my little beer. When I looked over, all the snails had piled up into a big pile on top of each other. I was like,
orgy.
I've traumatised the snails. Now I think they're having a little bit of a group hug. I think I traumatised the snails. I'm not lying.
Orgy.
No, it wasn't sexy times. I was pulling them off the trees and fucking putting them in my hand and then rehoming them. No, they were traumatised. They were having a group huddle.
At least they were together.
I felt bad though. They were literally about that high with snails on top of each other. No. If you're a snail enthusiast, do snails do this when they're stressed? Because I think they do. They were literally on a big, massive
snail.
Could be,
couldn't it? Yeah.
But they didn't get me figs. Anyway. Right, so my segment. Feels weird me going second.
I know.
This knocked me a bit sick.
Oh.
No, it won't knock you sick.
Okay.
Dylan's got some photos. I don't want them yet. Thanks, Dylan.
I'm ready.
Not yet.
I'm ready.
So, this is a product that was developed in 2011. It's actually developed in the 1930s first time. The chemicals that were used, they weren't good for humans, so it was shelved. Yeah. 2011, a woman called Anke Damask in Germany. She was like a kitchen microbiologist and fashion designer. She came up with a skin-friendly fabric for his stepfather. He was undergoing cancer treatment and he developed like loads of allergies and skin sensitivities. And the normal material that you'd get and what they used to dye the material would just really irritate them. So she came up with a surprising solution. Can you guess what this might be?
No.
I need a burp. Excuse me. Okay, her solution, which she made in the kitchen, was to create a fibre out of a protein found in sour milk. My life just flashed before me. I said,
is it still available now? Or
you have to listen and find out.
I know what I'm wearing next time.
So, the fibre, the protein is called casein. And it goes through a process. She mixes it with different things, skin-friendly chemicals, liquids, to actually break it down. And it forms this fibre. Like I said before, though, it's not actually a new process. It was originally tried in the 1930s. People in Italy and America both experimented with this, but they mixed it with formaldehyde. So it's obviously not great for your skin or your lungs. So that was shelved. But this lady, Anke, she's developed a chemical-free, eco-friendly version of this process that it has to go through using natural ingredients, minimal water, which is really important, and zero toxic additives in there. She's called this Q-Milk, or Q-Milch in German. It's a biodegradable fibre made from milk that would otherwise be wasted. So we're not talking about milk that would be used for consumption. It's milk that hasn't quite met quality standards or it's gone off.
Got you.
Yeah. It's actually better if it's gone a bit off to make this particular fibre. So how does sour milk become like a silk-like thread? The process begins, it says, with non-consumable milk, like I said before. It's not expired. And the milk contains, in this state, casein, which can be extracted through heat and spun into fibres. It just takes 2 litres of spoiled milk to make 1 T-shirt.
I can see the sweat pooling on you.
I've actually got lip sweat. don't know whether Dylan zoomed in on that before. I could feel drops on the top of my lip. So it takes 2 litres of spoiled milk to make 1 t-shirt. The entire process uses less than 2 litres of water per kilo. Compared to cotton, that takes 10,000 litres to make the same amount.
You're joking.
So it takes 2 litres of milk and 2 litres of water per kilo to make this fibre compared to 10,000 litres of water for cotton.
Fucking hell.
The Q milk process operates at really low temperatures and takes only 5 minutes compared to the cotton process, which just takes ages. So it's less energy, less water, and almost no chemical waste.
Yeah.
So because it's not a food, it hasn't got to go through like checks, like food standard checks. It's not being used as a food.
Oh, okay.
Instead, it undergoes like a rigorous textile and environmental testing to make sure that it is biodegradable, allergen-free, that kind of thing. So it says here that there's financial benefits. Q Milk taps into milk waste, which costs the EU millions. Now, I've actually found a figure somewhere. I think it was 2 billion worldwide it cost into getting rid of milk waste.
Fuck yeah.
You can't just toss it off. It's got to be disposed of properly.
Yeah.
So it costs millions and millions to dispose of it. So instead of paying to dispose of the spoiled milk, producers can monetize it now and sell it to people who are producing this Q milk product. And the end product, they do fashion, cosmetics, and home textiles. Yeah. And it uses less energy and infrastructure than traditional textile production, and they think it's going to produce less waste as well. I don't know if you've seen the Stacey Dooley programme about factories in China and India that are releasing waste into the water, and it's
possibly.
disgusting.
Yeah, I like Stacey Dooley.
Didn't at first, but
No, I mean, I
now.
like the programme she does. And
Yeah, I really like her. She drills down in quite a nice way, and she's really good. But she went over and she saw the waste that was being dumped into the rivers and waterways over there from the factories. It was all dye and chemicals and stuff.
Oh, shit, yeah.
It's quite horrifying. If you're interested, look it up. So it doesn't do any of that. So the ecological benefits, it's biodegradable in 3 to 5 months. So unlike synthetic clothes, it can take like 200 years. If it was just like dumped, it would take hundreds of years.
Yeah.
With this, it can biodegrade much, much quicker. And there's no pesticides, no fertilizers, no microplastics. I also read somewhere that they're using this product. You know the little beads that you get in body wash? They came off the shelves ages ago because it had plastic that was going into the water.
Yeah.
Well, they use this Q milk type plastic for these beads.
Oh, no way.
So it also emits a fraction of CO2 compared to polyester and viscose, which really, really produce a lot of CO2. Personal benefits, the fabric is antibacterial. So ideal for like people with eczema and skin sensitivities and stuff. It's very, very, very soft as well.
I never heard of this
Highly
thing.
breathable, temperature regulating, so good for like children, young babies, bodysuits, all that kind of thing, or for active wear, sportswear.
Yeah.
And the protein structure of it is actually really similar to human skin, so it means it's less likely to irritate even people who've got really bad sensitivities.
Yeah.
So what does this mean in like the real world application? So when this first came out, there's an awful lot of publicity about it, so some of you might have heard about it before. But it's all got a bit quiet.
Yeah.
And it's because she got to a point, this girl, and she made her own fashion label called Mademoiselle Chichi or Chichi. And it featured only Q Milk designs. And there have been some fashion brands across Europe and Japan who've experimented with it. But her barrier is the cost to the companies. If we go back to cotton and how it's produced, some of the programs on what it's doing to the environment and the world is pretty horrifying, really. But it's so cheap. It's so cheap.
Yeah.
Look at the sweatshops and the factories. They're getting like reams and reams and reams of cotton for nothing, next to nothing. Whereas this stuff does actually cost quite a bit.
Okay.
But we're talking fashion brands here who've already got quite, high-end, high-priced garments that they're paying next to nothing for because cotton's so cheap. So you'd think they'd invest in this because I think it's the way forward.
It seems to be.
We need to protect our environment, and this is one way of doing it. but she's just not getting the background support. And I think it's because actually governments around the world are making far too much money from the textile industry the way it stands right now.
Yeah.
Are they going to make as much money from this? It shouldn't be about that, but unfortunately it is.
Yeah.
And the cosmetics that I've seen like a, what's it called? A serum, which looks quite nice. But again, I've not seen it getting rolled out.
Yeah.
It's costing too much. They want to make biodegradable makeup sponges, pads, wet wipes, face wipes, and all that. It's starting to get out there, just not cottoning on quick enough. And it's all down to the cost basically.
Yeah.
I'm really, really hoping that they'll find a cheaper way to turn this around. Even though I hate milk, it's amazing and it could solve loads of problems. And I just think she's created something that's so fucking different, which could solve a load of problems. She just needs somebody to get behind her and really push this out. She's proved the concept. She's proved that things can be done.
Yeah.
If she hasn't actually proved the concept, she's got the blueprints for them, that this can work if you want to invest in it. She just needs the people and the governments to get behind it, really. And I think we'll probably come to a point ourselves naturally, if we don't end out in World War III, that we're going to need things like this because we're going to run out of stuff.
Yeah, we will.
Our resources are going to run low, and so we need alternative methods of, sustaining what we know and love and need at the end of the day.
Clothing.
So yeah, this war thing's become a little bit worrying, isn't it?
Oh, it's yeah.
My bum's twitching a little bit. I was watching the the Israel Iran thing going on, the tit for tat thing last night, the missiles being launched.
It's fucking crazy, isn't it?
And it was going off somewhere else last night as well. Somebody else was going off. Can't remember where it was now. It's teaching on the brink, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think, Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a sticky situation.
Yeah.
I feel my opinion of it. Have you seen the crack with Kneecap, the Irish rap group?
No.
Have you heard this?
I've heard something about Kneecap.
So I've been following them for years. They're Irish rappers who rap in Irish as well.
Okay.
And they've had an album come out recently and it's done really well. So during Coachella, they put up at the very end of their gig a giant screen of being Israel is committing genocide, stand with Palestine. And from the back of that, the British government have launched a terrorism investigation against them, and one of them is going to trial specifically for the stance they've done to kind of, it's all to get them from stopping gigging and stopping them from going to Glastonbury and doing the same thing.
Doing it again, yeah.
Yeah, and it's heavy. So there's a lot of things going on outside the war.
There is.
That's it's crazy as well.
It's
there
fucking
is.
mental.
It feels like there's a lot of dictating going on in general right now.
Yeah.
I know there's always been dictators, but I feel like just your average Joe at the moment. I feel like there's dictating going on. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on in the States right now, in Middle East countries.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got your Soviet countries and all that. There's a lot of dictating to the common man.
Everyone's having a bit,
It feels
aren't
like
they?
it's getting closer. And even like, in our own local government, Keir Starmer, not flavour of the month right now. Or loads of unrest going on there. Loads of rebelliousness going on. Fucking King Charles called Starmer in recently. Have you heard about this?
I haven't heard about this.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so King Charles called in Starmer and Nigel Farage, of all people. Apparently, Starmer has been doing behind the scenes negotiating with Europe to try and pave the way to bring us quietly and discreetly back under Brexit, under EU rules. Yeah. And for as much as whether you're for or against, Charlie is like, well, the people haven't been spoken to. Farage, because he's a snake, has gathered all the intel that Charlie needed, given it to the king, and he's brought in Starmer and said, right, lad, stop this right now.
Yeah.
And they don't normally get involved in politics.
Unless they have to, yeah.
They always stand outside of politics.
Yeah.
So for Charles to get involved in this now, this also makes me very worried because all this is going on everywhere else, and now our king is telling the fucking Prime Minister to wind his neck in.
Yeah.
I'm like, hang on a minute, this is unprecedented in my lifetime. They don't get involved.
Yeah.
So it's all these things that are going on and make me go, ooh.
Shitload going over in Ireland as well.
There is, yeah.
Shitload.
All sorts going on. I was talking to our lads yesterday. They came round for Father's Day. It was Father's Day yesterday, by the way. Happy Father's Day. Not yesterday, because we're recording in advance. Soz 15th.
8 days ago. Whatever.
And our lads came round and I said to our Liam, I went, what are you going to do if you get conscripted? He's a bit like, I mean, on health grounds, you probably wouldn't be able to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think our dad would be like, that, no problem. He'd be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, fucking machine guns under his arms, like that one-man war. Let me at him, Paraba. But yeah, it's, I don't know, I said this, I think, this time last year or around about, there's all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, but now, I don't know, it just feels like...
Yeah, it feels like sometimes when you're out at like a bar or a club or something and everyone's kicking off but no one's fighting.
Yeah.
There's loads of arguing
There's
and
a lot
stuff.
of anger.
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah,
there?
yeah.
A lot of
yeah.
anger, a lot of angry people around, and I don't really know what happened to the world really to make. Well, I do know what's happened, making people so angry, but now to get to this point.
Yeah, it's fucking
How
crazy.
did we get to this point? You know, crazy people ruling all these countries, making decisions on our behalf that none of us would agree to.
Yeah.
I just don't know how we've got to this point, really. But anyway, I mean, I was saying to Jim last night, we live right on the docks, by the docks. You know, if this country got targeted, all the ports would get it first.
Probably, yeah.
So me, my little new house, and me fig tree, and dead squirrel, we'd be on, we'd be gone, obliterated,
The
wouldn't we?
snails, yeah.
Nuclear dust. With me snails.
The nukes would get launched. The gym would be like, save the
Yeah.
snails.
All the cockroaches would be all right, though, wouldn't they? They could apparently survive a nuclear blast.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, we're going to do a Fetishes factoid before we go. We've got 7 minutes. I feel like I'm indulging today because we've got these 2 longer episodes.
I
We're
know.
talking any else shit.
Just fucking chills.
Snails, all sorts of things coming out today.
Chills.
Dead squirrels. Anyway, so let's get to do the next bit. What do you think about Q-Milk? It's clever.
It's good, yeah. I think it's what the world needs, but it's like you say, it's the cost, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if it's good if people can't afford it.
Yeah. So Dylan, can we have some photos? So this is the fibre after it's been spun. It's just like silk. It's very, very fine.
It'd make a nice flogger, wouldn't it?
Soft. Too soft.
No, I know what you mean, but
If
so
it was...
for like a century, some
Yeah.
people like century
Yeah.
bits, don't
But
they?
look how fine that is. That's what it looks like when it's obviously made
Oh, that's
into
nice.
yarn.
Yeah.
then. Yeah. I think there's a photo. Yeah. Blech. Okay. Just make that bigger for us, please, if you don't mind. So in this picture, obviously, you've got your curdled milk. The first time I saw that, I was like, my life flashed before me. And then the next one along is how it looks when it's been treated with the chemicals and it turns like it's powder.
Okay.
Yeah. And then obviously it's made into the yarn.
Yeah.
And then it becomes clothes. It just shows the process there.
Yeah.
Simple photo. And I think it'll get cheaper. Like everything, when it's new, it's expensive. I think it'll get cheaper. It just needs people to get on board.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like milk, I like the ingenuity.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a great product, soft and hypoallergenic. And
It does.
all
It
that.
does.
Yeah. Right then. So before we go, do you know?
Muffin Man.
People are waiting for this now. You've got to say the Muffin Man. Do you know
The Muffin Man.
what trichophilia is?
Trichophilia.
Tricho.
Tricho.
No. Tricholysis. Doesn't ring a bell.
No.
Dylan. Tricho.
Trico.
Tricholysis.
I'm sure there's a
People at
company.
home are going to be screaming this at me now.
Yeah.
All the smart people.
No.
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 Tricholysis is to do with hair.
Okay.
So trichophilia is hair fetishism. Right, while I'm doing this, have a quick look on our website for us, Townhouse. And
For Maine.
Look, it's the 12th or 14th of August. Right, so trichophilia is a sexual attraction or arousal to hair, human hair. It doesn't need to be on the head. It can be beards, armpits, eyelashes, eyebrows, pubes, nose hair, ear hair,
Bumhole hair.
whatever hair. And it doesn't have to be groomed. But most hair fetishists like to groom the hair and they like hair to smell nice. So even if it's body hair. Now, I did actually read something though. There was a girl who liked her husband's underarm hair but she liked it to be sweaty as well. So she was a trichophiliac and an olfactophiliac.
Smells.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she was a
Mrs.
bit
G likes me, so I've just got back from the gym or footy or something. Likes that sort of smell, like fresh.
Yeah. Not like bedded in BO, but
Yeah.
fresh, I've been busy BO.
Yeah.
Does she like sex BO?
Like the smell after
Then again,
sex
do you get
smell.
sex BO to have fucking sex for long enough? 2 seconds, that's it.
No,
Do you get a sweat?
25 seconds world record.
Yeah, so you don't get sex sweat, you don't have sex for long enough.
No, don't even get hot.
No.
Just
She does all work.
still cold.
So any kind of hair, preferably smelling nice, but some people do like to smell a little bit sweaty if it's under the arms.
Maine is the 23rd.
Okay, keep that for now. And I have done a little bit of hair fetish over the years, but it's been more hair bondage. But people are into the sensual side of it. What do they do and how do they enjoy hair? So obviously it could be like, running fingers through. It could be pulling. Now pulling releases endorphins. I didn't really think it'd do much, but it does. I've seen somebody getting choked with their own plait. They had a really, really, really long plait. And they got wrapped around and that was good. Good. I've seen somebody being whipped with a plait. This girl was like, her aim was unbelievable. She was swinging it round like that, and she was whacking somebody.
But that had some weight on if she had a big plait. Yeah.
But in sex, some people like the smell. They like the face or the genitals to be covered in long hair. Some people like to wrap a plait around their cock as they're wanking. There's a lot of porn out there with guys wanking over hair. Oh, God, there's this girl, right? She'd obviously been and got her hair just dyed and just blown. And she was, just looking beautiful. And her hair was just all this.
No curly blow.
Makeup and everything. Nice curly blow. And this guy is like fucking sweating past himself. Fucking splooged all over her hair. And it was a sprayer. It wasn't just a splooge and go. It was like a fucking hose. It wasn't just like one. It was. Well, she was like, and she had like little fucking pearls in her hair. If it was in one place, she could run it under the tap and just go. But no, she would have had to have re-washed her whole hair. And he was delighted with himself.
But
She was not amused. She did not hide it. At first I was like, she's not amused, but she'll hide it because it's porn. She was fucking fuming. She's obviously spent a lot of money on her hair. So guys love to wank in hair. Yeah. And they also, anybody who's into hair, they like short hair. I quite like the peach thing at the back when I first get my hair done. So there's people that will stroke like very, very
that
short
always
hair.
feels good, that.
Some people like to cut hair as a fetish. I've actually been part of a hair fetish ritual where somebody had long hair and they had the head shaved as a mark of respect and ownership to their dominant.
I've seen that, yeah.
That was beautiful.
It is, isn't it? Someone done it, surrender.
It's like the ultimate form of submission and devotion.
Yeah.
And this person had been through a lot in their life and had found this new fetish family and was basically saying, this is my sort of way of saying thank you and devoting myself to you. And it's the mark of a new chapter in my life.
Yeah.
It was really good. The hair bondage and fetish that I've done is literally like a predicament. So I've had like a frame, somebody's ponytail or plait has been attached by rope to the device. They're getting hit, zapped. If they move, they get a hair pull.
Yeah.
And it's not a nice hair pull because it was tight.
Yeah.
The neck's like that, being pulled back. To do that, it's going to hurt. So that was really, really good. I think that's the only sort of hair sort of stuff I've done. If you are interested in hair fetish, we have an event at Townhouse on the 23rd of August this year on a Sunday, I think it is, called Maine, M-A-N-E.
Saturday afternoon.
Sorry. Fucking hell, I really should know. It's part of the plan of it. And it's all about fetish and enjoying hair and learning how to enjoy hair in a very
chilled,
benign sort of way, really. Not too extreme, just very sensual, sexy, that kind of thing. Tickets only. Look on the website, townhouseswingers.co.uk.
See you there.
No, it's not. It's townhouseswingers.com. So, hair fetish. I haven't got a hair fetish, but I quite like...
I've done things with hair, though.
Yeah.
pull tie
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I think it's quite common, and it has got a name. But our side of things is a little bit more like choker than all that.
Yeah.
I've used the hair as a gag actually as well.
I can't. Her hair's too short. But
No, when you've got long hair though.
yeah.
I've also seen natural hair restraints. They've made hair into restraints. People into hair fetish and stuff.
That's cool.
And hair floggers, horse hair. I've got a horse hair flogger.
Oh, fuck is that?
There was somebody years ago who had a human hair flogger. His wife decided she was going to cut all of her hair off, and he kept it and so made a flogger out of it.
No way.
I haven't seen him for years, actually. Anyway, so on that hair fetish, what's it called?
Bombshell.
What's it called, the fetish?
Trico, was it?
Trichophilia fetish bombshell. We're going to go. So, if you're binge watching, put the kettle on, we'll see you in 5. If not, we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. And there we have it. Another day made better by listening to the curators of chaos. Thanks for dropping by. And if you enjoyed the show, we'd really appreciate you sharing the Love the Padded Cell podcast with your friends. Don't forget to give us a follow on our socials, maybe some 5-star reviews, and feel free to send us an email to medic@thepaddedcellpodcast.co.uk or even interact with us on Facey, Insta and our other socials because we love chatting to you. Make sure you stop by next week because, as Bowie says, I don't know where I'm going next, but I promise it won't be boring. Catch you soon.